Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Trekking Across the Universe today on October 21st, and for our more advanced members, October 22nd, Sunday morning. For the rest of us in the real world, it is Saturday evening, October 21st. What a glorious day it is. And you know who I am. I'm Roger. Off to my right. How you doing, Greg? How are you? Seriously, all kidding aside, are you is the time dilation good for you? Are you with us this time?
I am. I am here. I am aware it's Saturday.
Ooh, all right. You're,
Although
I
I
think
did
you're,
work. I did work today, and I'm like,
I'm sorry.
no, it's Saturday. I'm not supposed to be working today, but
I'm glad, and you'll be able to tell everyone what we're talking about in a moment, but I'm glad you have you here. Michael, good evening, young man. And don't tell me what to do, Michael.
But it's so much fun.
Oh, is it really?
And Elizabeth pays me to do it, so I have to do it.
Indeed. Someone pays you to do it. How you
Yeah,
doing, Michael?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad. And from the land down under in the furthest expanse in the expanse of Australia, all the way from Perth. How you doing, Aaron?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Real well, thank you. So, all kidding aside, I want to welcome everyone in the chat room. Linda, how are you doing? No, he is more like Senator from our Star Wars stuff, and that's where it goes. So, good evening, and he's here mentally. Well, we shall see. Folks, we're here to do Star Trek Lower Decks. We're taking a look at episode 8, Caves, written by Ben Rogers. That's me in plural, sadly. Directed by Megan Lloyd. The runtime, thank you, Greg, was 25 minutes, 36 seconds, give or take. And I don't know. I think I want to get right to it. Michael, what were your thoughts for the episode? We'll just get right into it, man.
Um, it was an interesting episode, as we were discussing just before we got on. It was.
Are you revealing personal
Yes, I
conversations?
am. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
All right. I'm all
Because
right with
it's
that.
fun.
Okay.
but I
Okay.
thought the green room was a private place.
The
No,
green
it's
room.
recorded. We didn't want to tell you, Greg. But no, it was a lot of it was new stuff, but they did like flashbacks and little things. So it was an interesting way they put it together. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I'll wait until we get into the 2 pages of Roger notes.
Oh, very good. Liz, since it's been made very clear to me that I'm insecure in quantity, I don't know if it's quality or in I don't know, a size or anything like that, but I want to share with you. I have 2 full notes this time, and which is really surprising for even a 25-minute episode to only have 2 pages of notes. I try to keep them brief, but it was really good. I have to tell you that I did laugh several times in this episode. On my second watch, well, I can't say rewatch because that's something else. I didn't laugh as much per se. And speaking of, oh, did we? Okay, all right. Who is screw? Are we bringing him in? Oh, it's
He's
better
turning
in the
around.
original Klingon. I like it. So then my line would have to be "Fortune favors of old." Good evening, iBeamer. How you doing?
Hey,
Good,
man.
good. We'll see how well this works.
I'm glad. Thank you for joining us, and we are ready to go on this. Seriously, thanks. I appreciate that. So obviously you've seen the episode. I was just going over it real quick. My first thoughts on the episode were, look, I laughed out loud a few times. I did appreciate it. The second time around, I guess I didn't laugh because I'd already seen it, but um, it was good. There were 3 major moments in the story. This time, I appreciated Mariner's annoyance because she doesn't like caves, and she kept going on. I guess she was proven correct, but I actually did appreciate her this time around. So I don't know. What did you think of it this time around, Greg?
Actually, it was a little bit more enjoyable for me than some of the last few. I mean, it wasn't stellar, but it was more enjoyable. The references were more general. It was nice to see the Vendorians again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got a kick out of it. It felt a lot like a Halloween Simpsons episode, or in a way, and they were kind of, I don't know, it was enjoyable. Of course, Tana was in it for quarter of the episode. She's one of my favorites. I think the F-bomb got dropped 3 times. I'm beginning to wonder if that's why I like Tana.
Well, there's no doubt she has flavor. Here is that. Yes. Okay, Greg. Thank you, Aaron. Go for it. What were your thoughts about today's episode?
I'm on the same page as Greg. I was pretty critical of the last 2 episodes, so this one I really enjoyed. I thought it was clever that it's a Star Trek trope that they explored. It's not like all those sort of insignificant references that you kind of get constantly bombarded with for the last 2. But yeah, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed this, and I didn't know what it was called. And then after the credits, obviously they're in the cave in the start of it. After the credits, when you see that it's called Caves, I just thought it was hilarious. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this one was good. Mr. Beamer, or I apologize. I Beamer.
No, same thing. I thought it was great that they did the whole, hey, we're going to do a flashback episode, but none of it was that flashback to stuff that we'd ever seen. You know, it was because I don't normally like the flashback episodes. You know, I'm like, okay, yep, I've seen it, but it was fun. It was a fun way to do this one.
Definitely was. There were some quotes. I loved how we have I forget his name, Lieutenant, the conspiracy theory guy. He was in this one. I forget his. I did not write his
Levy.
name down. I'm sorry, Levy. That's right, Levy. And his 3 conspiracies. Wolf 359 was an inside job. Picard is a hologram, and the Voyager EAMH is. That's how Mariner answered him back. So I did appreciate that. I did like that. And my daughter, Chimo, you may have seen in the background a few times. She's the one that said, "Did you like his line when they were caught by the Vendarians when they said, 'Oh, hey, I'm a fan,' after Boimler kicked them." And she said, "Yeah, we spend times on these sub forums where we all get together and make stuff. I mean, critically go over things." I thought that was funny. I did. Because I told my daughter that the first time I heard him say that Wolf 359 was an inside job, I actually kind of got mad at that because being a citizen of the Federation, I was. But bringing Levy in the episode, I thought it was really good. So I don't know. What were some of the What were some of the moments that you enjoyed as well, Michael?
Um,
Because there were 3 basic storylines.
yeah.
Actually, no, there was 4 of them. I forget. Yeah, there were 4 of them.
I enjoyed the first flashback of the cave. If I'm trying to remember, because I've only seen it once. This is one of the times I didn't get to see it twice. So I wish I had, but something else came up. So
Well, it was really good because Mariner just went off right away because she's with Boimler, and then the other 2 come in. She goes, "Oh my God, we're going to be on an away mission." And I says, "Yeah, what is it?" "We're going to go to a cave and research moss in a cave." And Mariner just lost it right then and there. She goes,
totally
"Oh my
lost
God."
it. Yes, totally.
And
lost
then
it.
after the title sequence, I loved how she said, "Look, can you guys just skip to the part? Skip the waiting and just attack." Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then when I don't know if it was Boimler or Rutherford was trying to make contact, I loved her snarky line of "a bunch of rocks always defeats centuries of advanced communication technology." I did appreciate this time, folks. I think I understood or I appreciated Mariner's snark. She was the only one that really didn't want to be there. She was happy to be with them, but yeah, I did appreciate Mariner in this episode. It was, I'm not going to say a lot more fun, but they hit the right notes
Yeah,
on this one, I think.
right. The writing was more considerate of her character.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, because if you think about it, maybe the other writing, they just didn't really understand Mariner, and that's why she came across so horrible to all of us.
You know, I really appreciated her in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It's like the real person was there and maybe toned it down a little bit. I like Mariner. I just, oh, chalkboard, it's actually,
Really?
some of you may not know the chalkboard reference. I apologize, but it's like, putting your fingers on a chalkboard. But
Nails on a chalkboard is a really annoying, screechy sound.
well, yeah, thank you. You summed it up for me. And in this
Mhm.
episode, she was far from. I think she was on those wipe off boards. But all kidding aside, I think for me, Mariner was balanced real well. I appreciated she was a voice of doom. I did. There was another line where she says something. Oh my God, the moss is following me, and then Tandy was like, "Aw, it probably just it's attracted to your temperature, so it probably is just looking for a warm, big. Ah, it got my boot." That was funny. Aaron, what were some of the other things that you picked up in the episode?
I think the ones that I picked up were more sort of the tropes of the cave story. Obviously, each Star Trek show has their own cave story. So the idea that they're usually like character based, so they're focused on like interpersonal relationships. Um, which for a show that starts off where we see that these characters are sort of separated and they've come together again, and they're learning about the fact that they actually have other adventures without each other, and that is a source of contention, especially for Mariner. And then yeah, the different flashback stories. So the idea that there are two characters who don't get along, and at the end of the story they're supposed to see eye to eye, but in Boimler's case, it's the bad way of seeing things. Um, the baby story, which is like the child and unexpected from Enterprise, where someone has a baby and they have to accept this child. Um, and then the other story, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the advanced aging thing is obviously another Star Trek trope. And the shuttle crash. I think there was an ion storm somewhere that
The
put them in
Ion
the
Storm.
cave.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those different sort of Star Trek references from previous episodes that I guess form the interpersonal relationships for these characters.
And gents, please don't wait for me to call on you. If you want to jump in, jump in. That's the really cool thing about it. We have 5 massive fans and experts here.
Or
Don't
more.
don't don't wait for me to cue you and just come on and jump on in. I Beamer.
What?
Yeah, yeah, you should have known I was going to go for you. Linda says the moss looked like the Ghostbuster slime. Yeah, it was kind of neat how they shot at it and then they called it like carnivorous moss.
Carnivorous moss, yes.
Yeah. Linda said, I discovered that Boimler is paranoid and Rutherford is it's like when they're sitting around the table with the Andorians talking, eating giant insects, trying to impress them. Yes. Yeah. Mariner's line when Rutherford says, "Remove your pants." God, boom, they've done. And Mariner's like, "Hey, that was a little quick there, pal." And, hey, we're shipmates. That was kind of funny. And speaking of Elizabeth, I mean Loth, what the hell are you?
Loonsbury?
Yeah, who
Dang,
are you?
that's even with my glasses.
Are you Metal
It's my
Lady? Are you Arc 54? I mean,
I
what
don't
are
know.
you?
I have so many damn personalities. Somebody that we all know, love, and occasionally hate has started calling me Sybil.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah,
they
I
know
know.
things.
And who is that person that we occasionally hate? I'm just curious.
Big dog.
Oh, I guess that's a we. Yeah.
Yeah, we.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Anyway,
Big
just
time.
kidding. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad he doesn't like Star Trek, but that's neither here nor there. But it's all good. So, what are some of your thoughts, Lothcat, on the episode?
I thought for the first time it actually went with a nice clip, and it was fun the whole time. I caught myself laughing, and then seeing a lot of with each flashback. I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Aaron or somebody else, but said they definitely were taking different tropes out of the different Star Treks. And I really found that funny.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Do you have a favorite part in the episode, maybe? Because
Mm,
seeing Tahana in there, I was disappointed. Where was the day player T Lin? I mean, come on, man. She's got to earn some.
That's 2 episodes she hasn't been in.
Yeah.
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 Look, we've never given a shout out to Chris Westlake. Music is by Chris Westlake. I think I've done a lot of the production staff. I always give credit to writer director, and we've gone over some of the other people, but we haven't given a shout out to Chris Westlake. Guys, and others. What do you guys think of the theme? I know this is way off topic. We haven't talked about the theme per se ever. Lowe's Cat.
It totally fits the show.
Oh, iBeamer. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all. It totally fits the show. It
totally fits
animation
the
that they
show.
did through
But
the
do
theme.
you
and
like?
Let the
yeah,
dude
yeah,
talk.
I do. I like it, and it fits.
sorry.
It's a great fit for the show, and I think he's done a wonderful job.
I will agree on that. And that's kind of what I was going to say before iBeamer started to say it. It definitely fits the show. There has been certain themes for different Star Trek shows that some are kind of hit and miss, but this I really kind of think goes with the almost campy anime vibe to it, cartoony vibe to it.
Greg, Michael, Aaron, your thoughts on the intro music?
It feels Trekky. It's cartoony and Trekky all the same time. It honors all that came before as well, and the way that they've used music in the show itself, fits what Star Trek has done. So that, he's paid attention to how Star Trek uses music in addition to just the theme.
Which is
I
not
think
an
it's
easy
really good that.
task. But, yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I was going to say that I think it's really interesting that I think all this music is just like synthesized. It's not like recorded by an orchestra compared to the other shows. So I feel like it's quite impressive that it stands up to that.
Interesting.
No,
I'm
I agree with
fairly
Aaron.
certain.
I mean, I can tell. The more I've been working with a synthesizer recently, it's amazing what they can do now. I mean, back when I tried it 15 years ago, you could tell. I mean, it just sounded not that great. But
Like
nowadays,
video game
the new
MIDI.
software and everything, it's amazing what you can do if you know what you're doing.
Well, that's a big part of it.
I hadn't realized that. I took it for granted. As you know, in television, media, and everything, Star Trek traditionally has a long intro, going back to the original series, Next Generation. Many television programs do not have a 1 to 2 minute intro. This is unique to Star Trek now. And even, I don't know the length of the intro for the USS Cerritos, but it's not a minute. It's a little bit more. And it is kind of cool that they do the entire intro theme and they continue to get away with it.
With listing the cast and everything, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate what you said, Lothcat, about the hit and miss ones. The one that I didn't really like at first would have been the Enterprise one. But then when I finally listened to the words and heard it, I mean, boy, did they score on that one. Pardon the pun. I didn't mean that. The getting from there to here, that was really good stuff. But in this one, for Lower Decks, I think it hits the marks. It's really good. And knowing that they do an homage to some of the other series in the intros is really cool. But I just wanted to point that out because I think Chris Westlake has done a marvelous job in the music in the episodes as well as in the title, which is really good. So I want to know, where's T-Lin? Nothing on the enemy probe. What do you guys think?
They've skipped that in a couple of the episodes already.
I don't know if it's a second or third episode where they skip it, but this one was good.
But last time, the end of it was them rushing off to, we got to get this information to the captain. And then...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And we never see it again.
Nope.
Right.
All gone.
Well, we'll probably pick it up next week.
Yeah. Well, after this, we can only have 2 more. but this
Then they've got to pick it up next week, or at least start wrapping it
There's
up
what?
next week.
I was gonna say there's what, like 3 more shows, something
Two
like
No,
that
more.
left?
only
2?
2. Geez.
Oh
more.
God.
2 more shows.
Yeah, fall's almost over.
Ugh.
Now I do. There was another thing that when Levy was involved with Boimler, you notice how everyone was offended that Boimler was spending time with Levy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we were even on the holodeck," and they're like, "What? You were?" I said, "Hey, when you get a chance to actually talk to someone," so it was really cool. Also, Tahana and Rutherford, yes, her swearing sometimes is spot on. This one was kind of cool. Um, I did appreciate her line where she says, "What I hate more than engineers are babies." So, I mean, she became my instant hero for that moment because that was really good. And
Yeah, but then the babies grew on her, but she still hated the engineer.
yeah, some things just don't change.
Well, he grew on her too.
Yeah. And by the way, yes, I do agree. It's better in the original Klingon. It's very good, Beaver.
That was,
So I do like that. Um,
I like
throughout the
from that segment. I like, oh f, that thing was nasty.
oh yeah.
Also, when
I
they
wa-
vaporize the diaper,
That's what I
that
was gonna
was
say. Yeah, when they
Yes!
vaporized the diaper, that was brilliant.
That was also one of the things I put a little smiley face next to on my note.
It was funny how instantly the clone baby just took to Rutherford instantly, and every time it was with Tahana, the baby was crying. That was really kind of funny. I did appreciate that. And there was gosh, what else? Throughout the entire episode, poor Tendi wanted to tell her story. And everyone kept shutting her up. It's not in a cave. It's not in a cave. And then when the moss overcomes them all, jams them up against the wall, it was so funny where he says, "Are we okay?" The moss traps him, and it says, "I need to hear the story from the green one." I thought that was really cool. And then she's like,
oh,
"Oh
because she's
wow,
green too. That makes sense.
yes!" I thought that was funny, and that was cool. And then she told her story, and it was
Finally.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were caught in the elevator. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, and then 4 hours later. Let's do the math. That's 2. That's 5. That's 9 hours that they were stuck. And then
I
they're
got a kick
having
out of what they were doing at each of those intervals too.
that
It's
was
like,
funny.
Rutherford throwing his socks at Boimler, and then charades, and then at the end of it, they're like in a human knot.
Right.
The one thing in that segment I didn't appreciate was they
What?
had
Taking a
mentioned
pee
peeing
in the
in the.
corner?
I don't know if that was a dig or a nod to Orville or not, but yeah, the whole peeing thing on TV has gotten way too old.
Oh, that part? Oh, okay. It's interesting. I don't know. I didn't give it that thought. I just thought they were getting angry at each other because they'd been in there for hours already.
I really appreciate that when they do that flashback, the lighting, because it's supposed to be from the pilot episode, it's different compared to the other show. It's more like brighter and shiny.
I didn't even notice that.
Because
You're
like
right.
when they usually do like a flashback in like TNG, when they go to the pilot in the last episode, and like Voyager, where they go to like season 1 or 2, it's never right. It's always like the look of the show currently. So I appreciated that.
I'm telling you, man. This
Wow.
yes. I'm telling you, he gets a lot of that stuff. Yes.
That's a
Actually,
really
Aaron,
cool
Michael, and I
notice.
were talking about you about 2 days ago about some of the production stuff, or actually yesterday. Yeah. Aaron, we were dreaming on your behalf if you had money for production. Yeah. You
Oh,
see?
we had decided how much you had, what
Oh,
you
yeah.
could do with it, and what you would build. Oh, it was.
Write it down and send it to me because
Did you
Dude,
write
it
it
was
down,
funny.
Roger? Because I forgot. Did you write it down?
I know that I bragged. I said, if I had $500,000, I could deliver a 1 hour episode. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine what Aaron could have done with
Oh, yeah,
5,000,
you're right.
100,000? That was funny. That's how much we respect and admire the stuff you've done, Aaron. There's no doubt
Thank
about it.
you. Thanks.
And but we were drooling on your behalf about having money. I know it's disgusting. I apologize.
It is disgusting, but it was true that we really did that.
Well,
We
I
were
haven't been
just
thinking about it
having a good
recently, so I'm glad someone else is.
Yeah, Linda says that moss buzz really be lonely. I guess Michael and I were yesterday. When were they? Sadly, yeah, we were talking about that stuff. So it was really good. I did appreciate how and who are they again, Greg? The
Oh, gee, I have to Vendorians.
Oh, I
It's
thought it was Ben Dorians, but hey, there you go.
no,
Ben Dorians.
it's a reference back to animated series.
Yeah.
One of their Met episodes had a Vendorian that came aboard posing as one of Nurse Chapel's past boyfriends.
Oh my God, that's right. I had flat out forgotten about that. All right, so I guess it was a bit of a flashback more than a bottle show. Yeah. All right, that's fair. I did appreciate how it happened twice with Levy and at the very end. And they didn't know,
No,
right? Right. They didn't know at the very end because I think the Vendorian said something to the effect of, oh, well, okay. Let me back up a little bit. After Shaq saved them, they said, we'll always be friends. And then the Moss said, "Can we be friends?"
Mhm.
that was sweet. That was
It
funny.
was. I think I did. I didn't laugh out loud, but it was sweet. I think I laughed that way.
You can
I
do
thought
your
that was kind of
scans. You
cool.
just have to tell me more stories.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Yeah, because they were going to be stuck there for a little while. That was kind of cool. And then the Vendorians are saying they've rekindled that friendship, which is really kind of neat. That was the overarching thing that the Vendorians are bringing these ensigns back into it. Oh, and by the way, I love Boimler's line to Levy because he was attacking him. I said, "Do you notice no one wants to be around you? This and this and blah 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 and this and how the hell have you been a lieutenant for 10 years?" I told my daughters, "Remember Maverick, Top Gun Maverick? How they're always slamming Maverick? They're like, Captain, you're still a captain." So, well, there's a lot more to it, but
There was a funny moment. So when the Vendorians appear, I think for the second time, one of them says that they're gonna like lay eggs in them or something. And then at the end, at the table, when they're like, "Woohoo!" There's one that's like, because he wanted to lay eggs in them, he didn't get to lay eggs.
Oh,
missed
you
that.
got that. I
It's got the
did.
same like marking, so I think it's the same one. But yeah,
That's
Am
good.
I the only one that thought Levy reminded me of Lieutenant Barclay?
Apparently,
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
but like
Barkley
not
was
like
Barkley
paranoid
was
in a
like
different way.
different. He was awkward, but he wasn't like a conspiracy theorist type dude.
Okay, he did mention about. Okay, do you guys remember it was with Moriarty? Did he believe that they're in a simulation? Because I think he tried to end the episode right by computer end simulation. Remember?
Yeah.
Was that a conspiracy or was that just because of what was going on in the episode?
I think it was because of what was going on in the
Yeah.
episode.
I agree with Greg. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, this was a character program. I appreciate how you guys redirected me on the Rutherford Tahana thing. I thought that was more like Threshold because Rutherford said, "Yeah, the doctor and I had a baby." And then, of course, it doesn't happen that way, but that's how I took it that this was Threshold. But no, it's like the other episode that you mentioned. So,
Well,
I
they've done the mysterious baby thing a few times. I mean,
oh yeah.
Trip.
There's one in Voyager.
Yeah. Trip.
with
Yeah.
Neelix
Trip
and,
had one, and
Yeah,
Neelix in Paris. Finding
Yep.
baby.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Deanna had one.
It was really kind of funny because I don't know if this race that died, she immediately touched him. Well, I'm assuming it was a she, and instantly he was pregnant. I mean, are the tribbles still the ones that are born pregnant, so they're better off than this race.
Well, it was like a
That's fast, man.
touch transfer procreation, and then the
You wrote that down. I did not.
thing develops wickedly quick. But I mean, they only had what 5 minutes for the clip, so I guess it would have had to have.
They did it really well. Rutherford, oh, I don't feel really good. Well, that makes sense. You're pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she just laser scalpels him open, biting on a boot.
Oh, and you know why Rutherford went along, right? Because Billups came up with swamp rash.
I missed that.
Yeah, I
When
thought
did
that
they
was
say
kind
that?
of
At the
funny.
beginning?
Right when he says we went to Belkis 9, and the reason why I went is because Billups came down with swamp rash.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, actually, I did. Well, I wrote down Rutherford pregnant via dermal contact, so I didn't write it all down. Very good. How many pages did you have, Loth Cat? Come on.
I was bad. I only had one.
It's okay. Because I've been made fun of over the size of my note taking, I've been doing my
At
best to limit
least
them.
it's the size of your note taking, not something else.
Oh, we've been there.
Well, forget all the institutional arrogance and everything. I am citizen of the
Well,
Federation.
I remember, Roger, we did activate the airlock that we could get rid of LL if we had to. So.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she
I'm
only
the one
talked
that gave
before.
him the throne.
Okay, I don't want to go down our own bottle show storylines. Which one was your favorite in this one? All kidding aside, and I'm going to
Remember
go to
the
Lothcat on this
time-
one. Oh, very good. What of the four? Which was your favorite, if anything?
It's a real big tie between the first two, Boimler and Levy, and the doctor and the baby.
Okay,
It's a real close tie.
Greg.
For me, it was the Balkus 9, the baby one.
Oh, the baby one. All right, Michael.
Favorite. That's a toughie. I don't think I have a favorite, but I liked them a lot all the same.
Okay.
I can't.
That's because, Michael, I'm your favorite.
Oh, don't get me going there.
No, I really don't want to hear it right now. I really don't. So you think all of them? That's cool. Fair enough. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Michael?
No.
Aaron.
I'm gonna say the Boimler one, just because I thought it was funny that for someone that was really unlikable, he ended up being right in a way, and that was really irritating. So I appreciated that.
I'm gonna give a minor nod to Delta Shift because they don't like anyone else. But when Mariner started giving orders because she outranked them, did you notice Delta Shift was yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am? That was kind of cool. There was no argument.
That one had some really good moments.
I did appreciate that in the Delta Shift story, but mine was Boimler and Levy, yes, for the aforementioned reasons. iBeamer, which one was yours, if any?
I like Mariners, the Delta Shift.
Oh, you did.
I mean, they were all good. But yeah, no,
Yes.
I that one I enjoyed, because of it was all coming to a head between her and the other girl, and then just it was funny. His leg falls off, and can we go get it? Nope, we're done being old.
Yeah,
Throwing it away.
you a
just
new
suck
one.
it up. You're still young. My leg fell off.
I think I did laugh out loud on that one. And then he's whining in the back of the shuttle. Can we please go get my
Yeah. But I also liked, not only did they age physically, but the two of them were like bickering, like old ladies.
Yes, yes, that was good. You know what, folks? I even when the episodes were maybe down, this is what I was holding out hope for. That look, there are a few valleys for Lower Decks, But I think overall, this is an entertaining program. I'm thrilled that they're doing what they're doing. There's no way I can catch up with all of the Easter eggs. I just don't think they're Easter eggs anymore. It's a collage now because I have so many. But I was smiling in the episode. Again, I loved Levy's, or well, when Boimler shut him down by saying Wolf 359 was an inside job, Picard's not a hologram, and the Voyager EMH is.
Also,
I
didn't they
did.
make a comment about why would you hang out with a guy that thinks we're in the evil mirror universe?
Oh, that's right. I think Mariner says that, right? He did.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot about that. That was
I
good.
like that one.
And
The writing was tight on this one. I think probably because they said, all right, we're going to do three decent backflash type stories and one little one. I thought the writing was pretty tight on this. They had really good beats. They had a lot of really good lines, and they didn't distract themselves with except for like a little bit with that thing about Picard being a hologram and stuff. They really didn't distract themselves with a lot of references.
yeah, there was a lot to like in this episode, and I'm glad. I enjoyed it both times, and it was good. But
Hey,
obviously, the first.
just not to throw you off stride, I actually got to take off. I got to.
Beamer, what did you think of the
Thing I'm
episode?
scheduled. So overall, it was fun. Again, I love that it was it pulled all the cave, different tropes like that into a flashback episode of not real flash. I love that they showed us new stuff, not actual flashbacks. It was great. I'm going to say A minus.
Oh, awesome! All right, thanks, young man. I'll put a message later on when we all come up with our scores. Beamer, thanks for joining us. It's always
Thanks
a
for
pleasure, man.
stopping by, man.
Yeah,
You bet. You guys have a good one.
This is awesome. We had 6 on the panel this time. This is cool, man. We all get a chance to talk about it. So I do appreciate that. That is really good stuff. So what did you guys think? Lothcat. I guess no. Do you guys still want to talk about the episode a little bit more? There was a lot. I just want to get his score in before we lost him.
Yeah, there was a few things we like. We're not really going scene by scene, but I liked the very first scene when they beamed down. Comment about caves all kind of look the same, and don't all 1/3 of all our missions are in caves.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
They also have flat floors.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the line about how they smelled and it being moist?
Rutherford commented how they had like some sort of like this, like they're damp but not too damp, and
They're moist is the word he used. It's like, ooh, I hate
yeah.
that word.
I think that's supposed to be a reference to the fact that on the actual set, like they had like stray cats and stuff that they would like live in the rafters and like go into the sand at night and poop in it. So I think that's supposed to be like it wasn't a great soundstage to work on.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't know if it was very much in the Next Generation, all that stuff, but in the original series, oh yeah, several people wrote about the cats. I'm sure they hung around 20 years later for the other guys.
Definitely in Voyager because they talk about it on their Delta Flyers podcast.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
there it is.
And like fleas and stuff in the sand, like they call it Planet
really?
Hell for a reason.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I visited that set, and it's claustrophobic. It's a big set, standalone, but it's hot. It is hot on there. There's no AC. Well, actually, a lot of the sets don't have AC. They don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Paramount is an old lot. And I think there are a few that are cooler just because they're newer in the design. But there's no insulation on those. The Desilu side, where they filmed Star Trek originally, I forget which set numbers they are, but yeah, those were beaten up real good. And the new Next Generation and Voyager, they were filmed on 8 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. And that's on what they call Bronson Avenue. And when you go, it's interesting because on Bronson Avenue, on the southeast side, is the first aid station. And a little bit of trivia, I've taken the tour, that first aid station is in Top Gun, where Tom Cruise comes out of the house, very satisfied from the night before. That was filmed right there in front of the first aid station. You go on up, you have 8 and 9 on the left, and then I believe it's Soundstage 16, which is DS9 on the right, which is kind of cool. And they call that Star Trek Row. So, but I don't know if they still do now because of some of the production moving and stuff. But yeah, it was really neat uh, going down that stage. But they're very hot. And then the machine shop is just beyond Soundstage 16. It's either 16 or 18. And when we took the studio tour on June 12th, 1998, they told us they're building a new ship for the upcoming season. And it was cool because they couldn't tell us anything more, but they did let us see the wooden frame of it. And it didn't look very big to me, but hey, it is what it is. And it was the Delta Flyer, which was really cool. So I did see its skeleton, its bones, which was really kind of neat. I wish I could have taken pictures, but they told us no pictures. You know
It's
what?
funny because when I was gonna build a shuttle for one of my fan films, it's so hard to try and find pictures of the Voyager shuttle and the Delta Flyer from the outside. So clearly, no one took pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. We were told we couldn't. I had a camera with me. They let me take it on set, but this was the trip of a lifetime, folks. They told me no pictures. So we obeyed, and I wish now looking back I would have snuck one. Because when they let us go on the set, Kenneth Biller's assistant was our security. And he doesn't get to go to the set either because it's a secured set. But they let all three of us run through the sets for an hour. That was crazy. That was neat. I wish I would have taken pictures because we didn't have anyone looking over our shoulders. I should have, but you hear that, Paramount?
You were good.
I was good. Damn. But anyway, all right, we'll go ahead and continue. Linda says maybe she should have tried to get the Moss to join the Federation. Maybe. Now, was the Moss real? Or was it what the hell? Whatever?
Vendorians.
Vendorians? Yes. Is
I
it a
think
Vendorian ploy?
I think they were. I think it was Vendorian personally, but that's my opinion. But
Okay. All right.
Or the Vendorians were using the moss or something.
controlling, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, at the very
Oh
beginning,
yeah.
I loved how Tandy and Rutherford were getting crazy, and they referred to, we know what a mine or a cave is, the material that's in there, soluble minerals, and they give each other a high five. I thought that was funny. It was really good. They were enjoying their time. And
Doing sciencey things.
it smells cavey.
KV.
Yeah, that was good. There was a lot to like in this episode. I'm glad we're back to the enjoyable one. Greg, I do appreciate that the writing was tight. Yes. And it was good. No, I don't think they are.
Not the Andorians, the
No.
Vendorians.
Vendorians, yeah.
Yeah, the
The
Vendorians.
Vendorians are.
I apologize, Linda. Must be my thick accent. I'm sorry. I have to work on it. So I apologize. All right. So, do we have any more comments on the episode? Some thoughts on it before we get to our final grades?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Good
do.
here.
I liked
Greg.
I liked the thing with the universal translator and the tricorder when they talked to the.
Oh God, I
to the
forgot about
Traplocs.
that. Yeah, that was good.
That was like, that was one of the things that put that particular vignette above the other three. And you guys are good parents. And then at the end of it is something is, Rutherford asks Tana, are you saying I'm the first engineer you like? And she's like, shut the F up.
Yeah, I wrote that one down too. STFU. Yeah.
And so I mean there also Tana was like, she was trudging through the cave putting X's on the wall. They only showed her do one, but like, you got the opinion she'd been doing that a while. So I mean, there was a lot of stuff there. Yeah, I did think the 9 hours in the turbo lift was funny. Just just the fact that they've gone from throwing clothes at Boimler to charades to then they're in this like human knot thing, and I'm like, okay, so what's happened? What happened in the last 4 hours?
Can you imagine all of us stuck in a turbo lift together?
Not in a knot at the end, no.
Yeah, no. Problem there, Roger?
What the hell, woman?
At least not all of us.
You know what? I wouldn't be able to handle it. So no. But thanks for putting that thought in our mind. Oh, woman.
You'll have nightmares now.
No.
They do have a hatch in the roof. I like to,
Oh yeah, why didn't they crawl up there?
And by
That's
the
a good
Doritos, I
question.
would hope the hatch isn't in the roof, but like in the wall, and there's a recess in the shaft or something.
You see, that's one where all of the programs that make fun of Star Trek, they say, well, why don't we, it worked last week. Why didn't they use a hatch? That's right. I didn't think about that. I just thought it was funny how Rutherford was in hey, can you get us out of here real quick, right quick? Can't you just beam us out? And it goes silent. Oh, it sucked. Yeah, because those elevators are not that wide, man. There's not a lot in there. So, Michael, anything you want to add?
No, that was about it. I'd forgotten about the translator too, but
Oh, the very last thing they were talking as they were trailing off with the Vendorians watching, they're talking about aliens that were pretending to be them from the future. They met themselves. That was wild. I thought that would have been a good one to see.
It may happen. We may see the future selves referencing, just like they did in the first episode. I was kind of a bit disappointed that was the entire callback. It says, hey, we can't talk about it, just like we can't talk about that,
Pike thing.
the Pike thing. I was like, all right. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. So who knows? Look, these guys are so creative that they may have put that line. We may see it in season 5.
That could be fun. That could be fun. And much the way that the same that Straczynski did the thing with the first captain of Babylon 5. He had he had scenes that he knew he would go back to, and I thought he did a really good job with those.
Yeah, sometimes they really work out. So hey, we'll see how it goes. Aaron,
Yes.
do you have any additional commentary that you wish to add?
No,
Where the hell
no,
are you?
no.
There you are. Sorry.
No, I'm
All
good.
right.
I really enjoyed this episode. Compared to the last two, like I wasn't my hopes and expectations weren't that high going into it. So the fact that it was really great, then I enjoyed it, and again, it didn't rely on those 50 million references. It was just the sort of cave trope and those types of stories. I think this is what Lower Decks does best.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mhm.
Lothcat.
No, I don't really have anything else to say other than kind of agree with Aaron with what he said.
Okay. All right. Greg, every time I say anything else, you do have more, and I appreciate that.
No. I was so pleased with this one. I just was like, I just was pleased with it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I had all these highlights that I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. So
Oh,
It
no,
was
Greg.
finally a fun episode.
Yes.
yeah,
And seriously, that's why my notes were fewer, because it was a lot easier to follow the storylines. It's not that, there was less techno babble. It was just good stories, and it was a morality tale because it was actually about them, which was kind of neat. And it's those 4, and it's cool. And Linda said because they're kids. I'm sure there was a comment referencing earlier, which I missed. But I enjoyed it too. It brought a smile to my face. Michael, I know you'd been a little unhappy for a little bit, but you were smiling on this one, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. This was better than the last couple.
Yeah.
So I was happy of that. I didn't want to say I'm bailing the last 2 episodes. I can't handle it anymore. So.
Oh, stop it! You're not going to do that. But I don't know. Maybe. All right, Michael, what was your grade on this one?
A-.
Ooh, Loath Cat. Oh,
You know me. I'm back on my ass. Solid A.
ooh, okay. Greg.
I'm gonna give it an A minus, and the minus is only because of the peeing references.
Okay, I like that. Aaron.
I'm going to give it an A.
Damn it.
C+.
We have 3. No, far from. Linda gave it a B minus. Okay. No. I'm
God,
gonna.
that tanked the score.
I'm gonna. Well, a little bit.
You throw the first and the
It's
last.
7 people. Look, we have 3 A minuses and 2 A's. I'm gonna go with Aaron, and I'm gonna go with Loath Cat. I did like this episode. There was a lot to like in this episode, and it's an A. It's far. Well, yeah. It was really good. Um, it was actually kind of preachy, but in a good way, because it was about them. So yeah, I did appreciate that. The only thing that I want to know is where's that enemy probe, or just that that malevolent,
Yeah.
which allegedly is stealing. And I know this has already been filmed. It's too late. Where is T. Lin? Come on, buddy. Get back to animation. You got to put T. Lin back in there. Revisionist. Do what they did in Game of Thrones. Fix the Starbucks cup. Put T. Lin back in. So that would be my only complaint. Greg, you're right. I missed Tahana, but I definitely missed T. Lin. So.
Why do I have a feeling that the very last episode will get some sort of a cliffhanger to deal with that vessel, and we won't see it till the end?
Okay, let's take a look at season 1. No cliffhanger. Season 2, there was a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She was arrested.
Correct.
And then it resulted in season 3, no cliffhanger. Does it follow? Will there be a cliffhanger on this one?
What season was the thing with Boimler getting cloned or something?
That was the end of. That was.
That was the end of season 1, I think.
Yeah.
That was
Season 2,
almost a
he's
little
the Titan.
cliffhanger-y.
Okay. Well, I thought the season ended.
Well, it did, but I mean, it definitely.
Well, there were
didn't
2 of
end.
them, right? Yeah, if I remember right. So that was not in the cliffhanger.
Was that in the first season or was that in the second season?
Oh God, I can't remember.
I
Because
think it was the first season.
Okay,
Oh,
I
it's the
guess
thing
it
that I'm
was.
thinking of in the middle of the first. Did they do a break in the middle of the first season?
As far as I remember, it was just 10 episodes. And remember, the first season ends with no small parts. That's where the pack lids are the all-powerful ones.
Yeah.
And then the end of season 2 was Captain Freeman being arrested.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then season 3 opens up with where they go to Bozeman, Montana. And then the end of season 3 was where all of the California
Lin.
class shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, can't believe I said that. They all show up.
I gotta rewatch the earlier seasons.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I want to see when they did the Boimler clone. I guess it was because
I think that was the start of season 2, actually. So he leaves
Okay.
in season 1 to go to the Titan, and then I think it's episode 2 when
Oh,
he
I
comes
think
back.
you're
He
right.
explains why he comes back.
I think you're right. Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
because remember at the very end of the episode, Mariner's lost her mind because he got promoted, and she's blowing up his messaging service, I guess. All right.
That's what it was.
I guess I'm gonna have to go back and look at them. But look, this was a wonderful recovery. Thank you, McMahon. I know you've already written this stuff in advance, but this was a good episode. It was a tight episode. It was a sharp episode, which I might be stuttering tight, sharp, but whatever. It was smart. It was good. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to the last two episodes. So we'll see. All right. So, one tiny question. Do you guys have any ideas now what that probe might be with the hint that it is stealing stuff? Could it be an advanced Borg probe that's assimilating everything?
It's stealing stuff. Maybe Ferengi?
Oh,
We'll see.
I don't know. I've been trying to avoid all the conjecture that's out there. I know last week the thought came up that it might be something to do with V'ger.
Well, I've been
All
saying
right.
that for weeks, but yeah.
So, I did. I actually watched the intro, so I found I noticed the whale probe. From
Oh,
Star
did
Trek
you guys
4.
see it this time?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really cool.
that
All right.
that was funny.
Yeah. Every new season they change it up a bit.
So I wonder what they're going to add next year.
Wow. Because remember, the very first scene was the Romulans and the Borg. That was
Yes.
it. And then they've added, I think in season 2, they added the Klingons. And then
the
season
Borg,
3, they added the
no, the
crystalline
Jem'Hadar.
entity.
Crystalline entity.
And then for the 4th season, yeah, they added the whale thing, and I believe the Klingon ship flying across the screen being chased by someone, or them chasing someone. I forget.
When did they add the Jem'Hadar?
I thought it was the 4th season right here.
Oh, okay. So it was the Jem'Hadar and the probe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. I have a sneaky suspicion they're changing that alien slug or worm, but I haven't noticed. So we'll see. But all right, folks, this was awesome. I thank everyone, iBeamer included, for joining us, and Lothcat, Admiral Greg, Senator Michael, and Aaron. I thank you guys. And if you have any announcements or anything that you'd like to share with us right now.
The only thing on Monday, we have Jim Beard's going to talk about his new book about Star Trek and how it affected some people's lives. We will have a guest host on, Bobby Nash. He'll be with us. On the 30th of October, we have Joshua, is it Maley? Is that how you say his name?
Oh,
Roger?
Josh Maley, yes.
Yeah. Writer and filmmaker. He'll be on the 30th. Those are the ones that we have confirmed so far.
Yeah, he just finished up a movie, folks. So we're going to be going over. We might actually be able to show some videos since he owns the movie. So we'll see. I'm going to ask him in advance because he owns the copyright on it. So if anyone nails us for copyright, it would be him, which I doubt he will. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, if any of the hosts care to join us, by all means, you're more than welcome. But you can check him out. And the connection that we have, Josh and I, is he wrote the teleplay series in the 2000s entitled Star Trek Frontiers. It's good stuff. If you look it up on Facebook, really good stuff, folks. They wrote 2 solid seasons. If there was money, that one would have been cool. But all right. I apologize, Linda. I should remember. I don't. I'll see if I can get that information to you. But beyond that, I think that's it, guys. Oh, those are my drugs. I'm going to have to go. All right, folks. I think we're done. We're out of here. Jolantru and peace and long life. Thanks, guys.